Los Blancos are expected to make a change in the dugout this summer, but the new manager won't have an easy time fitting the pieces together. Real Madrid could be in trouble. Things aren't going well at the Santiago Bernabeu at the moment, and there is a real fear that they could finish the 2024-25 campaign without a trophy. That would be an immense failure for a club that brought in Kylian Mbappe last summer. But there is reason to believe that some of this had been coming. Madrid were carried hard by Jude Bellingham at the end of 2023 and buoyed by Vinicius Jr. in early 2024. And, crucially, Toni Kroos was there throughout it all, his metronomic pinging of the ball keeping Los Blancos afloat. None of that matters now, of course. Madrid is bad at football. Changes have to be made. The ensuing moves are already underway. Carlo Ancelotti is already on his way out. In turn, Xabi Alonso has been announced as the next manager, and he will have a serious task on his hands. Not only will he face the immense scrutiny of expectant fans, he will also be handed an awkwardly assembled squad with tons of talent in glaring holes. Although Alonso has proved himself as a shrewd tactician with Bayer Leverkusen, this is by no means an easy assignment in just his second senior job in professional management. Let's look at the ways in which Alonso could set up his Real Madrid side. Carlo Ancelotti claimed a few weeks ago that a 4-4-2 was the best system for Madrid. It felt quite a lot like an act of desperation. Los Blancos were trying to attack too much. They have two very quick forwards in Vinicius and Mbappe, an imperfect right midfielder in Rodrigo, and Bellingham could sure play off the left. As Alexander-Arnold arrive, Alonso could make this one a bit more interesting. A four-man midfield of Alexander-Arnold, Valverde, Eduardo Camavinga, and Bellingham, with Mbappe and Vinicius up front, is an enticing thing that might just work, and with Carvajal offering cover at right back, should be resolute enough defensively. The temptation here might be for Alonso to stick with what he knows. There is a real danger in coming to a new club and immediately trying to instate a slightly unorthodox system. Just ask Ruben Amorim. Alonso's most effective formation to date is a 3-4-2-1 with two very attacking wingbacks and dual 10s who play in behind a bigger center forward. Look at Madrid's squad, and there's room for optimism, but also many ways in which this simply would not work. For a start, it would seem to be Alexander-Arnold's dream, removing his defensive responsibilities and asking him to create from wide areas. It would also presumably suit Bellingham, who could tuck in nicely as one of the number 10s. Outside of that, things look trickier. Mbappe could play as the number 9, but Alonso likes his big man to be more static and reliable in holding up the ball. Vinicius, too, could be something of a mixed bag here. His attacking skills valuable when the game opens up, but not quite as effective in tight spaces. There are concerns, too, at the back. Madrid have struggled for center backs this season due to a sheer volume of injuries. Such a system would require a few medical miracles, as well as some new signings. In short, interesting, but not immediately effective. This is the fun one, the high-risk, high-reward setup that could either be a dream or a total nightmare. First of all, it's probably where the purest football comes into play. A three-man midfield of Alexander-Arnold, Valverde, and Bellingham would be defensive suicide. But when executed well, it's not hard to see Los Blancos exerting full control over their opponent. It would also, presumably, offer a chance for Endrick to get a real look, while giving more space for Mbappe and Vinicius to play together. Should Alonso opt for a sturdier defense, he could play Valverde at right wing and drop Tchouaméni or Camavinga into midfield. Either way, this setup doesn't scream of defensive solidity, but would certainly offer the sort of tempo setting from central midfield that Los Blancos haven't had since Kroos left. This formation might be more of a rip-off of Julian Nagelsmann's 4-2-2-2 that has proved so effective for Germany. And in terms of getting everyone in their best position, it might be the most obvious answer. Vinicius and Mbappe, with time and a solid system, could learn how to play as strikers. Bellingham and Valverde could form the front of the box, with Alexander-Arnold and Camavinga holding down the defensive roles. The back four picks itself, although it would require some serious legwork from the full-backs to offer attacking width. Well, none of them really. All of these systems are deeply flawed, and do little to cover up the fact that Madrid have a very poorly balanced squad. There isn't a clear pattern to be found here, and the fact that both Vinicius and Mbappe are left wingers can't really be masked. The departure of Rodrigo, not a right winger, would also highlight that Madrid don't really have a wide man to hold width on that flank. The most logical shape is probably a 4-2-2-2 with a box midfield. It would offer the best defensive base and a solid partnership in a double pivot. Valverde and Bellingham figure to be active attacking presences in advanced areas, while the hope would be that Vinicius and Mbappe learn how to play together in full. This would, of course, require a fair amount of defensive and positional discipline, but Mbappe's inevitable wanderings can be covered up by Valverde's legs on the right. It would also allow Alexander-Arnold to do what he does best, while covering up his undeniable defensive weaknesses. Which formation suits Madrid? Share in the comments section below. We will be back with another video. Till then, have a great day.